moving over to the agent select any minute now. So seeing what these teams decide to bring to the table with their composition, I think this is going to really set the pace for what the match is going to look like. Ascent, quite the standard map in regards to what you would expect from a tactical shooter such as Valorant. So we might see a few standard lineups. You want to have your smokes, you want to have your sentinel, and I think the big question here right now is how many duelists are we going to see?
So we're waiting now to see the lock-in on the SONOP side. I'll be curious because I know, especially in South African Valorant, those duelists are the popular ones. Everyone wants to run out and collect some heads. So do you think it'll be duelist heavy on both sides?
From what we can see so far, this is a potential triple duelist coming out of SONOP A on the side of the attacking side on the right. But on the left, of course, we have Team, and they're still choosing things out here. Nightmare, known actually in the Valorant scene for his Killjoy plays. Trigger potentially going for the Phoenix, which is a very nice duelist to see with the angles you have on Ascent that you can play around, and potential double smokes from Newt and Amali, and that is completely unconventional. Usually keep your smokes to a single character, and okay, if we actually see the Yoru coming out of Quagga, I think that is going to be awesome, which we do. Okay, that's an exciting pick. I think Yoru overseas or on the global stage, I think since his release, he's had like a 0.2% pick rate. So we're going to see some interesting things over here from Team, and a static composition actually from SONOP. Triple duelist, extremely aggressive, but still within the standard range.
This will be an interesting one. So for me, I'm just surprised about the Yoru pick just because high skill gap, really hard to learn, and like you said, not very common. So I'm interested to see what Team plans to pull out here.
Absolutely. They're going to have to play around it, and I think it might have something to do with their double smokes that they're going to be coming in with. Of course, we're going to have Team on the defense. So if we did want to see the Yoru, now having Yoru on the defense as well, where he is often seen as more of your attack-favored agent. He wants to get in the back as soon as possible with his teleport. So Yoru on defense, you can rotate really easily. Hopefully that's what they'll be utilizing here. But I can't get over the double smokes, actually. I think that's the biggest thing for me here with Team. But looking over at SONOP, looks like they're going to be posturing to an aggressive A push here. I mean, with triple duelist, you just want to press W as soon as possible. So, well, let's get into it. It's the first match, first round of the Campus Club Finals for South Africa.
This is it. The team is going in. Look at SONOPS. I think this is the biggest thing for me. SONOPS is going to do this aggressive push onto A, but do they see that Nutu's just there wanting to take a little flip? Here we go. Nice little big fight, getting us started.
Absolutely, and Nightmare on his own underneath. He does get taken down, takes 2 kills down with him beforehand. Quagga needs to rotate alongside Trigger, coming into retreat. So of course, the door is blocking their way. Surprisingly, the plant is only coming out now from Ku. And is he gonna... Okay, this wall actually stopping Lowe's is unconventional at best, and he's on his own. He's taken out Trigger, finding 2 kills there. And we're going to be seeing Team take away the first round on Ascent.
It was really good from Team. You actually saw them using those smokes really well as well. At the moment that you saw SONOP come onto site, that was what Team did. They dropped their smokes, they made sure that they were a little bit blinded in certain spaces, and then it was easy for some of their guys around the back just to pick off some of those players as they went. But now SONOP knows what they're getting into. They've had a little bit of a warm-up and feel. You can get some better guns, you can get some abilities, and you can hopefully do a little bit of a better job. I say that, though, it doesn't look like they're planning to buy up.
Yeah, it looks like what SONOP wants to do. They want to save here because of their last round here. Shadow Hunter still happy coming in with a Ghost and full armor. And it's going to be an A push once again, but we've got Spectres, we've got armor as well on the side of Team, and an aggressive, potentially aggressive push from Trigger. You do see the star on the ground there from Astra as well, and smoking on top of it. What is the plan? So we've got 3 players from Team over on A right now, and a slow push. Ku might actually find a little bit of a fight against Mali here.
Were they going for a fake A, or was they just feeling out to see what was happening there? Because it looks like they're now moving to B. Maybe they've changed their minds, or it was a little bit of a faker trying to convince Team that they were going to make the push onto A before they quickly rotated to the next side.
I think that's very possible, and looking at the posturing from Team, though, it seems like they're actually aware of this. Quagga right now. Oh, are they giving it away? Nightmare's dropped all of his... Oh my, okay, he gets the kill. Quagga follows up with another one, and that's 3 players slumped down. Only 1 more left alive. Alone is scared. Heineke gonna have to back off. Trigger gonna be chasing him. He actually gets struck from the side as well as a very quick rotation from Team. And Sam, I must say, that was very nicely played from the side of Team. but I do like SONOP trying the little fake there.
I thought that the fake was really clever. They just needed to be a little bit quicker on the rotate to the B-bomb side, right? The B-spike side. Because ultimately, I think it was just a little bit too slow. The decision to move, they gave team a little bit of time to obviously just quickly run through mid and get back onto B. So now they're making that push for B again. They've decided this is the route they're going to go. A little bit quicker from them as well. And team looks like, you can see this, if you look at your little mini-map in the corner, you can actually see how team has spread themselves out really nicely. So depending on which site SONOPS makes the push to, they know they can get players on there quickly. Really smart play from them from a defensive side to set themselves up that way.
Okay, Trigger's seen. He's had first contact. And, oh, trading curveballs. No one goes down, but actually, did anyone even take damage? Okay, there, Paranoia being utilized, but no push up onto it. Whilst there's actually a battle happening in mid, just a clean trade, one either way. Leo comes out, and now Shadow wants to push, gets the headshot onto Trigger, and now team at a deficit. Spooky does want to move in for some more. Leo gets entrance onto the site. The Phantom could find a kill here, but Quagga's the one to take the kill, but Shadowhunter comes in with the trade, and the bomb site is all SONOPS. It is now 3 versus 2. We have a rotate from Newt, but oh, he's taken out completely, and it's all up to Nightmare.
Right, Nightmare's on his own. This is it. He's got that. They've got that wall set up there. They know this is. SONOP has set themselves up really well, but Nightmare knows where they're sitting. He's just waiting for them to do a little peek so he can potentially just tap the head. He does just that. Takes one down. Takes another one down. And just in time, SONOP Sage is able to take him down. Well played to Ed, and well played to SONOPS. What an incredible setup. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They pushed the site fantastically, really used their utilities well to make sure that they could get on, and I think that that was a really good planned play. And this is great for them. They got a round in the bag.
Absolutely, definitely a way to change the tides, because so far, if we look at the buys, I mean, this is where we can actually see the game progress forward. Both teams are full buying here. Koo's actually opted to just stick to the specs he had previously, Shadowhunter on the Ares. They have a good bank to play with. If they win this round now, this is the momentum pushing. Talking about momentum pushing, we're going to be seeing another push onto A, and this could potentially be with all 5 players.
Interesting decision from them, right? So they're using these utilities that you see, all the agents in Valorant. You don't only get your guns, you get all sorts of special abilities depending on the agent you choose, depends on the abilities you get. So you're able to use things like these smokes that will hamper vision. You've got some healing capabilities as well, and they're using all of those to make sure they can clear the sites up and move on, hopefully to put the spike down. But as I say that, team knows where they are, and they're slowly starting to pick them off. Nightmare at the top there in the back, he's just waiting for them to enter the site.
I really like the lineup from team here, knowing where to play. And oh, the turret actually is the one that steals the show. Nightmare, just a quick little swing onto it. And now buffed alongside his teammate with the stim. Although we could see a bit of a battle out in mid. Ed, curveball just absolutely blinding the Sage. And Spooky goes down as well. Trigger finding 2 kills there, and now it's all up to a single player on SONOP. Koo on his own with a Spectre. He does have full armor. He does have the run it back ultimate right now. And
30 seconds
towards
left.
B, but there's only 1 player technically on B for team right now.
1 player on B, so this is his opportunity, but he's got to be a little bit faster. You mentioned that ultimate that comes up, so this is one of the abilities we spoke about. This is an opportunity for him to ultimately teleport out of the action. So he's simply just waiting now to decide what to do. I don't think he's going to make the push, because my understanding is that he could potentially be waiting. We may have to pause the game because we've lost a player from the lobby. So this could just be him waiting it out, which is just good play.
Yeah, I think what he did here is he definitely wanted to potentially save the weapon. He knew that it was just him versus 5. No one on the side of team actually fell there. So although it looks like it was actually a player from team that disconnected, so hopefully Newt will be back shortly so they can continue. But talking more about the game here, Sam, I mean, the double smokes I was talking about from the side of team, it's actually working out quite well. Amali here on the Brimstone, he uses his smokes as soon as possible, coming down from the sky, and then following up from that, you have the Astra, which unfortunately is the player who disconnected here in Newt, which I can't even actually go to because he disconnected. Using his stars really effectively later on in the game, and this is something I've never seen before.
It was really well played. I also want to go back because one of the things that we saw, I was talking about the abilities of these agents. So for someone who's never ever watched Valorant before, like we said, they've got these different abilities. We're watching Nightmare right now. He plays Killjoy and he can set down those turrets. And that was the thing that we actually saw. As I mentioned, the abilities, one of the SONOPS players running in, and that little turret that you can see on the left there, that was the thing that got him. That's quite a useful setup on a defense side, right? Cloudburst, tell me how you would set that up.
So generally, when you want to use the turret, you have two options. You want to play for a aggressive turret that's going to see the players before they push onto the site, or you're going to put a defensive turret down where you're going to be waiting for them to come into the site. So that's really the difference that comes to play here. Let me actually, sorry, just before we continue this, let me try to just finish this round quickly so we can pause after the round before we have any issues there. So generally, yeah, with Killjoy, you have the two choices there in the way that you're going to be playing it out. And that does change the playstyle that you'll be entering the round with as well. So when it comes to utility, it's all about what your team's doing.
And then, of course, you can see there, we're paused right now, but it says the buy phase. So let's explain it to someone who hasn't seen this game before. That buy phase, because that can be a little bit confusing, right? Let's walk through how that buy phase works for people who are playing, who are jumping into the game for the first time.
So your buy phase right now, as you can see, Nightmare here setting up his utility. In this buy phase, both teams are actually locked out by these walls, which if you look at the map here, you will see that they can't pass certain points. Unfortunately, when I open the map here, it doesn't actually show, but on the mini-map here, you'll see these red lines and these green lines, which players on the attacking side can't pass through the red, on the defending side, they cannot pass through the green, which allows for players to buy their weapons from their shop. They get to choose their utility, they get to talk about a strats, and they get to set things up for the round going forward. So in the buy phase, can't do much, but as soon as that timer hits 0, the round begins, and that's when the chaos starts.
The idea with the buy phase, of course, is to get the weapons you want, some shields, and also with those abilities, you do have a passive ability that every agent has that they can use. They have their ultimate, which charges up depending on how many kills they get, but then they can also buy 2 abilities, and they can buy certain amounts of them, and that's really coming down to the strat that they want to play, whether they spend money on those abilities versus guns, depending on how they're going to play. We're now waiting just for that other player to connect, but I must say I was really impressed again by SONOP's play in that last round, the way that they were able to push the round that they won onto site. I want to see more of that from them. I think that it also threw team a little bit. I think that they had I think that they believed that they were going to be moving on to A when they realized it was moving on to B when they realized that they were moving on to A. A little bit of a quick rush over, but it was just really well played by SONOPS.
Absolutely. I do think that SONOP does have quite a bit of potential here to change gears when they need to, and I feel like this is going to be a big difference when team comes into play. Are they going to be able to adjust once the momentum starts going? Because, of course, it's 3-1 now in favor of team, but SONOPS, as you say, that round we did see them win. It was a really nice play, so can team adjust to it if they do get momentum going? Will they get momentum going? That's the excitement of it all.
This is where it gets fun. So interesting enough with SONOPS A, they actually played at their res. There was a team cup in the residence to determine who would be the A team and the B team. So they did in fact beat SONOPS B. That was what happened to get them to be called SONOPS A. But what's interesting, we're obviously seeing them play on Ascent. This is a really special map to the SONOPS teams, both A and B, because this was the map that they played on to determine which teams would be which letter. So I had a chance to speak to both teams beforehand, and they both mentioned this to me. So I don't know, maybe we need to print a little, you know, one of those geography maps of Ascent, and we can gift it to them later, because apparently it means a lot to them.
That sounds lovely. Just a little bit of this this outfit in the map.
There we go. We're just going to screen grab this. We're going to quickly print it in black and white, but it's the thought that counts, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure that all of the SONOPS boys would love it. Can put it up in their dorm. Walk past it every morning when they go for breakfast. Okay, okay, so we do have another crash coming in. So I'm actually going to check, maybe we could lead this onto a short break potentially, or we might just wait a little bit longer. We'll get an update to see what is happening with Newt's machine. Unfortunate this happens, but of course, you're dealing with computers. This happens all the time.
We are at...
Right there.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Campus Clutch South African Finals. We're busy watching the buy phase for this round. We had a couple of technical glitches, but we've got them all sorted. The players are back on, and now, of course, it's about getting back into game, Cloudburst. This is where it gets a little bit difficult because you've had that big pause, and SONOPS was on a really good run, so now they've got to find that momentum once again.
Absolutely. Glad to see that Newt is back for the side of team. But looking at the economy right now, definitely more of a buy coming in for team. And the amount of smokes in mid, this is so unorthodox.
Is the idea here to block off mid? It's going to stop people from moving around, make it a little bit difficult, help you kind of pick people off as they come through here?
I think so. I think they're just trying to do it as aggressively as possible. And the Leo here behind the smoke as well, so they can just push forward. And oh, unfortunately, the smoker goes down. Okay, Newt and Quagga really showing up here now. Ku has to try and retrieve the spike from bottom of mid, gets taken out as well, and it's all up to Ed. He gets at least one, but that's not looking great for the economy right now.
No, he got that pick, but not great for them. I think that the smokes and all those abilities that you saw getting dropped in mid just shut it right down, became really difficult. And it obviously, the moment you take control of mid like that, it's easy to just pick everyone off. If you've got that spike dropped in the middle there as well, it just makes it so much tougher for the attackers. So now they've got to rethink. SONOP's got to find that momentum again. They've had that opportunity now. They know what's happening there, and they've got to make a play. Taking a look at your mini-map, I think that they're going to try and fake an A. They've got one player kind of sitting there who's possibly going to try and pretend they're moving to A while the rest of the team moves on to B. And let's see if this works out for them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a very good flash coming out from Quagga, as we see Ku wanting to posture forward as well. And oh, a trade on the other side of the map. Trigger finding Shadowhunter as you were saying this, Sam. He wanted to fake it out on A, but that peek from Trigger has actually thwarted their strategy quite heavily and could even force a bit of a rotation.
So they're making a decision now. You saw that big brown whirly wind. If you've never watched Valorant before, basically that just shuts down their access to sites. It shuts down their sight lines as well. They'll be running on blind, so they've got to make a decision not to go that route. It was their only access point in. And now it seems that SONOP is trying to decide where they're going to go. Looking at that mini-map, I think some are going to make the move to A, but maybe not quite sure.
Okay, well, Spooky actually wanting to push through mid now, finding a Marley with the penetration you get from the Ares. Oh, finds another one onto Quagga, and now they have B-side. It's all up to Nightmare. Nightmare does have utility set up, but right now we have run it back coming in from Ku, which does mean... Oh, actually, wait, that was not run it back from Ku. That was actually run it back from Trigger. Nightmare does find Ku, though, as they're going to be trying to get onto site. It's up to Nightmare. He finds another one. And oh, gets caught unawares with the slow orb up. Heineke on his own now. And it's barely any time to plant. Does not have the bomb. Bomb plant takes 4 seconds. This is going to be a difficult push and not quite there. He's taken out as well. Doesn't even go for the save.
It was an interesting one for me, though, because I thought that SONOP was going to try rotate onto A. It turned out that they weren't. They were just finding a new way into B. It actually looked like it was working in their favor. They had more agents up. It seemed like it was going to work out. Lasted a little bit at the end there, but really good play from them. Smart. They've got some good strategies. They've obviously, I mean, I did ask them if they'd been practicing. They said that they hadn't really had a lot of time because they've been having tests, so they've needed to study. But as a team, obviously living together helps. I know most of the professional esports teams, they want a gaming house. SONOP has that. So, I mean, I say that they need to study for their engineering degrees, but they also have a little gaming house. And now we move again. They're making that push onto B. I think that they've realized that this is quite a strong play for them.
Oh, and Trigger, he's changing sites just about every single round as to where he's holding. And that's nice, though, because that means Nightmare gets free roam of changing where the Killjoy utility is setting up. And talking about that, Nightmare waiting out on A, as we're going to be hearing the Blade Storm from Heineke, and this could spell a pretty difficult round for the side of team, especially if Heineke uses the boost here to go over the wall, and looks like that's not quite going to be what they opt to use. But right now, 4 players coming in through A main.
Sneaky, slow walk as they try and get a feel for what's happening on A. You can see that team is slowly trying to rotate. Newt knows that they're coming in there. He's going to drop some of those abilities, shut that door. He's going to close them off if he can.
Oh, absolutely. Spikes down. It's 3 players left. Makes that only 2. Quagga rotating so quickly with the Yoru here. And I actually wish I caught that one, because this just shows you, I was talking about the Yoru at the very beginning, using the teleport to rotate quickly, and that's what he's doing. I think we need to see a lot more of this player.
So you saw there that this is the great thing about Ascent. They have those doors, and you saw that SONOP try to close the door, which would ultimately close off an access point to the site. Newt saw what was coming. He made sure that that stopped, and then it was an easy one for Team because they had those 2 access points, and they could kind of make sure that SONOPS wasn't able to do what they wanted to do. Good play from them, but again, SONOPS doing a really good job at just trying to force themselves onto sites, giving Team some things to think about.
Absolutely, and talking about things to think about, Quagga once again over on B trying to use that flash, and Nightmare now moved over to B site, and it seems like everywhere that SONOP tries to go, Nightmare's waiting with all that utility from Killjoy. SONOP now opting to push through mid a bit here. Shadowhunter looking to find some picks, but now they have mid control. It's all smoked off, but that does mean that we're not going to be seeing a push out from Team, although we could see an early engagement here from Shadowhunter and Newt. That smoke not going to be doing too much. Newt peeks, doesn't get it. Shadowhunter with the clean headshot from the Guardian. Now, what does SONOP decide to do? Okay, an aggressive push out. Ku wants to push in. Does use curveball. Doesn't manage to flash. We do see Amali just waiting inside Pizza right now. He does have a Vandal. Can his Donut win the round? Oh no, he peeks up, but there's 2 of them. Shadowhunter finds another kill. Here comes Paranoia once again. He's going to use the orbital strike, and that's going to cause so many issues. So he flicks to another one. That's 4 kills. Now that is going to the highlight reel for Team.
Amali, that was an impressive play from Team as well. Really well done for them, and you saw they used the pros of Ascent to their benefit, using those long angles, doing those peaks. Really good play from them. I wonder now, is SONOPS going to try that mid play as well? I honestly think that they need to just push onto site. They have 3 duelists. They can be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit faster on their pushes. That's what they need to do. They're taking a little bit slow, maybe a little bit nervous around Team because they see how quickly these players are able to set themselves up. Of course, the players of Team all coming from professional playing backgrounds in other titles, which means they do have an understanding of how to set themselves up really nicely. And the title they came from specifically had abilities as well, so they know how to use those to the best of their ability.
Absolutely, and I think that one of the things that they're doing here is, as I said, it's unorthodox to have multiple smokes, and they're just looking at it from a different perspective. So if they can keep doing that, we could see some great plays. But oh my, Quagga going to get one. The turret doing so much work. And oh my word, Nightmare's utility just absolutely shredding through SONOP. We do have our first resurrect of the game, and it gets taken down very swiftly from Nightmare and Trigger. And it looks like we are going to be seeing an engagement here from Amali and Ed. Ed with just a ghost, Quagga pushing out as well. And Ed actually gets the kill on him as Amali takes the trade, but a little too late there, economy-wise. Their economy's in a bit of shambles here, Sam. Looking at SONOP struggling to really find the weaponry they need.
SONOP struggling a bit. You got to see the resurrection. Obviously, it didn't play out for them. This is one of the great benefits of Sage, the agent that SONOP has, is that her ultimate allows her to resurrect another player. And then, of course, Ed, I was about to shout, "Run away, Ed, run away!" He chose not to do that. He went full fighting, was able to get a pick, but it does mean losing that round. Now they're running out of cash, and that's the thing. You need the cash because you want better guns, you want better shields, you want more abilities. They've got to start getting some picks so that they can put some money in the bank.
They're into, I feel like their economy management is really not quite where it needs to be, but now Amali, he's going to be dealing with a critical mass of players here for SONOP as they just full on push through Catwalk. Doesn't really stop Amali, he gets a kill through the smoke, but now there's going to be engagement. Shadow trying to take the kill over onto Newt. At least he is traded by Heineke over here with the Ares, and as much as this is a 4 versus 3, ultimates for the side of Team actually cements him a bit further, but now 3v3, which ultimate is going to be popped first as Trigger looks like he might be opting for a little bit of a flank through tiles. Oh, can he find the kill? Yes, he does. All up to Heineke here with the Ares, which is not the weapon you want to clutch with. There's a little smoke. Up drop to get a better angle, but Quagga just wide swings him. Takes him down.
We saw Quagga standing there. He got 2 picks from that angle. So he was waiting in that little alleyway. Twice he was able to hear the players. Twice he was able to get the picks off SONOP. So now they know maybe that communication, they need to let each other know that he's hanging around there, possibly because he plays that really, really well. It is 9 rounds to Team, though, 1 to SONOP. They've got to get back to where they were playing before. And I'm going to say it again, be aggressive. Be aggressive. That's a university cheer, right? And maybe stop making your economy look like my bank balance and focus on saving some money.
Absolutely. I mean, this is also the second last round of the half, so when it comes to economy here, this is not when they should be buying up. Of course, that's what they've opted to do, and we'll have to see if they're able to get the win here. If they do, it does set them up to at least put themselves up to 3 rounds in the first half. Let's see how it pans out as they're going to be posturing towards A. Not quite just yet. Oh, okay, Newt has the angle, so much utility right now. And as we said, Quagga, look how fast he rotates. Yoru, a pick on Ascent, actually working so well for them. Ed does manage to get another kill on Newt, trying to get rid of Ed. But now we just see it's a 4 versus 2. Newt finds another one, and Trigger closes out the round. We're going over to our final round of a half now. It's looking a bit dire for SONOP.
It is looking a bit dire for SONOP because they're going to move over to defense, so maybe that'll be better for them. But team is playing really well, and I think we mentioned it there. They rotate very quickly. Their pace is a lot faster. It's a little bit more aggressive. Obviously, the more rounds they win, the more aggressive they seem to be getting. That's a confidence boost. But I wonder if SONOP needs to maybe just be a little bit faster, you know, pick the pace up a little bit. They take a lot of time getting to site, which gives team all the opportunity they need to set up their defenses. If you move a bit quicker on and you do that aggressive push, you can. You've got the 3 duelists. It's going to make your life a little bit easier because it's not going to give team the chance to move. I'm going to stop talking though because no one cares. There's shooting going on.
Oh, Amali with a dirty tap on the head as soon as he sees the up drop. Well divided now, coming in from Newt. And this is going to block off so much. And another cheeky kill from Amali. Seeing all the utility being used, verticality means nothing to this man. And in regards to the wall divider, we're going to see a push, and Newt and Amali have a really nice angle together here, creating quite a choke point. Kufu does have... Oh no, it's not going to be able to do anything there.
You saw that in mid. Once they took the spike, the agent carrying the spike down, it was really easy for team to just set themselves on either side. Like I said, Ascent has those thinner alleyways, some nice angles that they could sit, and once you've blocked those off, it's very difficult for the attackers to get that spike and carry on. So not the greatest from SONOP, but you know, you might just swap sides and things are a little bit different.
Absolutely. I mean, Ascent is a map that generally you would say is defender-sided, but we'll have to see. It really depends what these teams decide to do with that. And coming in from the side of the triple duelist setup on defense, I'm a bit concerned as to how that's going to work out for SONOP. However, I'm keen to see how the boys play it out.
I'll be interested purely because we saw that they had some really nice strats when they were playing attack. There was a couple of times where they set themselves up where maybe they didn't win the round, but I thought the setup was really clever. So I'm hoping to see the same on defense. Maybe they got some good ideas, and we're about to find out, of course. Now it's going to come down to just making sure you can close off these sites from that team attack.
Oh, and putting the turret outside the smoke to try to get something. Shadowhunter does find a pick, but that's traded off by Trigger very quickly, as he's going to be going for the bomb plant over on default. And we have a little bit of an Astra deal here with Trigger, who can't find the kill. Oh, he does actually manage to find the kill there. And traded off. Newt does fall. 3 versus 3. Lear comes up, but Trigger still has the angle. Can he get the kill as he's on 10 HP? Opts for a repeat, but gets caught in the back from Heineke. Oh, he's going to be able to fight that. Yes, he does. And now also forcing out the swarm grenade. It's all up to Nightmare on his own, and he's already used his utility up.
Swarm grenade.
This, if he wins this could be a massive clutch, but... Oh, okay, he did still have another swarm grenade. That's one. Do they have the time? They're going to start defusing. He's going to come for the peak. Gets another. There's only one left, and there's no more time. Nightmare.
Run,
oh
Jet!
My, he managed to get it. Oh, what a clutch from Nightmare. Oh, absolutely fantastic closing that one out. I really thought in a 3 versus 1 that was going to be SONOP's win there, but now putting them onto map point, yeah.
I mean, Heineke should have run away if he could have, but I think he needed to defuse, which was also, I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but it was so close for SONOP. Now, like you said, match point, this is it. It all comes down to this. Let's pull something magic out of the bag, SONOP. You've got this. You know you can shut them down. You almost did. Now there's no time left. You got to do it.
No time at all, and what they've done here is actually brought up, regardless of their economy potentially being quite hurt following this round, and opting to have 2 players over in mid right away. Trigger going to be moving on to site. Oh, he does manage to get the kill there. Oh my, I cannot believe he's able to get so much off of that run it back right now. 3 players left for SONOP. And Spooky is on his own defending here. Trigger finds another kill and Shadowhunter, which is caught offside.
Standing.
Marley holding Pizza even when he's on attack, and now it's all up to Ku. Nothing but a classic. And oh, he's using the right click, but it got nerfed, and that's it. A flawless win to take map 1 for team.
Team did an incredible job, and you saw as attackers, this was my thing. When they defended, they were very good. They rotated very fast. But as attackers, what was good is that they were just super fast, right? I mean, they just got on side as quickly as they could, planted that spike, and was like, right, now we're going to force you to play a little bit more aggressive. You're going to have to play off the back foot. Really good performance from them. But, of course, there is another map, so SONOP doesn't need to worry. They need to get to jump on, and I think we're going to be playing on Bind. So this will be a good one for them. If I'm not mistaken, it was their pick. I might be mistaken.
I think SONOP picked Ascent first, so
Oh,
so
they
yeah.
did.
So
I even wrote the notes. You see, Cloudburst is reading my notes. I missed it. SONOP did pick Ascent, so that means that they are going to be jumping on to Team's map pick, which I don't actually ever think is a worry, because I've seen lots of teams lose on their own map pick. So SONOP, you've still got an opportunity, but Team definitely showing some of that pro play experience.
Oh, absolutely. I think that we saw a lot of discipline there, and I'm actually quite surprised with the way they played. They definitely used the abilities in conjunction really well. So exciting to see. And I mean, Nightmare potentially stealing a bit of the show here, 17-2, which is a scoreline that anyone would wish for.
I'm pretty sure he'll be screen grabbing that. He'll be really happy. Nice, good start for him in the Red Bull Campus Clutch. The South African finals, of course, going on. We have 7 teams that are here that have qualified to play in these finals. Our first seeded team, Softgang, they will be seen a little bit later on today. But right now, we're watching team take on SONOP A, our seed 4 and seed 6 team. SONOP A coming from the residence in Pretoria. So a bunch of mates that live together, that play games together, and team Cloudburst, you mentioned it earlier, coming from that Overwatch professional background and showing it. I expected, though, because they came from Overwatch, and they did show it with some of the smokes, with some of their abilities, but I expected them to play their ultis a lot more cohesively together. They never really had to, because the smokes alone, I mean, they just played those smokes really well. We saw that from them time and time again. They just smoked up mid and went, well, now you can't see. Joke's on you.
You can't get anywhere. Absolutely. So definitely something I really enjoyed seeing from them there. I do want to see more usage. As you said, of the ultimates there. I'm not sure what they would really combine with the characters that they're playing with their agent selections, but offhand, definitely want to see more of the Astra from Newt, because that character just has so much potential to do things, as you say. But of course, from us, we're going to get the next map ready, so we're going to be swinging it over to another short break. So go grab your drinks, your refreshments, and don't be gone for long, because we'll be right back.
Dominating performance on the first map from Team. Love that name. They're now facing off against SONOP A. It is a best of 3, so if Team takes this map, which is Bind, they will move on in the tournament. Of course, though, if SONOP takes it, we move to map number 3. But let's talk a little bit about Bind before we talk about these agent selections. Teleporters, my favorite. You just get to move all over the place.
Absolutely. Bind, a map that since beta has been plenty teams' favorite maps and plenty teams' least favorite maps. So what we're going to see is compositions, I think, are definitely going to be a big thing here as to what the players are going to go with. Of course, we saw the triple duelist coming out of SONOP in Ascent, but now moving over to Bind, I'm not too sure that's what they want to use. Bind as a map built a little bit differently here. The rotations from the attackers can be very quick with the teleporters, as you mentioned there, Sam. So generally, you want to make sure that you've got a Sentinel at hand so you can get the information out. Maybe even a Sova, but I mean, they're about locked in, and it looks like we're seeing none of that. Well, we do have the Killjoy for the Sentinel, but no Sova once again from either side.
No Sova, and then we've also got that they did get rid of those 3 duelists. They were only going to be playing with 2. They threw in the Sentinel, though, and on the side specifically of Team, what do you think of this agent pick?
I mean, I think this might actually be the same one we saw in Ascent. So we've got the double smokes again, we've got the Yoru, we've got the most unconventional thing we've ever seen, and now I've seen it twice.
I mean, it's working for them, so I like unconventional, a little bit of a change, shake it up a little bit. It worked for them on that first map, so now we're going to see how it's going to go for them here on Bind. This is going to be an interesting one. Like you said, unconventional. This is also the thing, though. You throw in the unconventional agent picks, and then the team on the other side has no idea, because they probably haven't prepared for a setup like that, and they're kind of going, what are you doing?
How do we deal with this?
How are we going to do this? So maybe a clever move from them, but we can see now, obviously, the buy phase as it counts down to those 10 seconds. Pretty clear to me. I think Team's going to make a push for A, or they are going to jump around a little bit in the midsection of the map before they decide where to go.
I think we can definitely see something along those lines, and right away Smokes coming out so aggressively onto A. Amali on it with those sky smokes from the Brimstone. They could actually just run and plant before we could see SONOP even trade. There's been no...
They're doing that. This is the thing. They're using these agents' abilities. We're calling them smokes. They've all got different names because of the different colors. But you know what? They're all smokes. They're just blinding the sights, put those all down, makes it impossible to see, plant the spike, super aggressive, super quick. This is the style that works for Team. And SONOP's kind of standing there going, oh dear,
how do we deal with this? And now it's a post-plant, and the round basically just begun. I think they did that in... What was that, an under 10-second plant? Okay, that is a massive flash here, but Newt gets the trade anyways from the cubby he's holding, and Quagga also getting a few kills on the board as well. It's down to 4 players for SONOP, and Heineke wants to try and get something. Okay, does manage to find a kill, but can't even start defusing. They're running out of time, and right now they're already completely out of time. He's updrop to get out of there, but that's the round already over.
That was, I mean, here's Team, right? Quick, fast, drop the spike, boom. That's their game plan, and that was the first round of this map. Super aggressive play from them. Right, SONOP, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be quick, fast, too. This is what it comes down to. If you let Team anywhere there with those smokes, they're just going to throw them all out, blind you, and plant. Once they've planted, you have a problem because time is not on your side. So you need to be quick, fast. You need to take a guess of where you think they're going to be, or you need to be holding way ahead before they can even get to site and stop them from moving that fast. What are they going to do, though? It's always fun to watch that mini-map, but things change as it goes. It seems to me that they're going to try and make a push onto B this time, maybe getting a feel as well for how the defense is going to work on both sides.
And that's exactly what's happening. They want to push onto B, but we're already seeing players rotating off of B over to A. So now we've got 3 defenders on A. Okay. Spooky, I mean, he just wants to get some kills. Another dink over here, he tries to find Newt, doesn't get it, so close yet so far. And now it's up to Ku to push out of the smoke that just dissipated. And oh no, he tries to change his targets. And once again, we're getting the plant early. It's not even a minute left in the round. And they have to deal with that. Shadowhunter goes down. And now Ed, the player that rotated off of sight. Oh, caught with his knife out. Trigger finds a headshot.
Heineke, they're waiting for you. They're just waiting for you.
Oh no, he gets caught in Astra's Gravital Flux, pulling him in. No chance for escape.
They got tired of waiting for you, so they just said, come on over here. We're going to finish this up. Team is just running all over the place, and it's a scary thing to watch. I think it's really difficult as well for SONOPs. I mean, we've seen them, they've got really good strats, they play a really good setup, but right now they just don't have time to set themselves up, because by the time they've got to site, they're already faced with Team who's dropping some smokes and blinding them.
Can I just quickly talk about the walk of shame here from Trigger of all 5 players from Team leaving the bomb and spawn and Trigger having to run back to go and fetch it.
I wonder what he said in cons, because you know that was a punishment. He said something and someone went, you know what? You will do the walk. Go fetch that spike. You will fetch it. You will do this shameful walk, and the casters will watch and talk about it the whole way.
Okay, Amali already coming in with an entry kill here, and interestingly enough, 2 rounds up and still no buy because they've been having near flawless rounds here. Awkward movement there from throwing out the grenade, but over in the rest of the site, things are just popping off as, once again, SONOP reduced to just 2 players. Ed having a great time over here with the Aerie, something that the team definitely enjoys running with for the penetration increase, but I'm not quite sure if this is going to be enough for these 2 players to throw it out. Spooky over in heaven, but right now Team just holding back. They know that they can play it slow. They know they have the swarm grenades on the bomb, and Ed wanting to push out aggressively, going to be caught in the sights of Newt, Marley, all of them peeking out in Unision. Now they also get the weapons that SONOP bought. It's just looking better and better for Team.
If SONOP was a baby, Team is the nappy rash. That's what it's starting to look like to me. They're just all over them, and it's irritating as hell. SONOP is feeling it. They're starting to scratch, and hopefully it's going to be the wake-up that they need, because they need to get around on the board. This is really important for them. This map, if they lose this, they are out of the campus clutch. They've got to be thinking about that, and now they've got to rethink how they execute these sites, how they defend them from those quick, fast attacks.
Talking about quick, fast attacks right away, we're already seeing a defensive smoke from Ed, trying to get the ultimate orb so that he has his orbital strike ready to go. Does get some damage on Nightmare, actually a lot of damage on Nightmare. So now that's thwarted a bit of their push. They're ignoring Long. But Ed holding back over in elbow, and here we go. Now this is Amali. Actually, he might just be faking it out. He's put down his sky smokes over on B so that the rest of the team can go to A.
And it's worked. Look at that. SONOP is rotating onto B. They are going to open A up completely for Team, and Team is going to just happily skip on, drop some smokes, do a little dance, plant a spike. Here it goes.
Okay, Heineke could find a lot of kills here. Finds one. Nightmare's low, throws out the smoke. Now he's going to be peeked from Trigger. Curveball comes out. He needs to spray, but he's not on angle. Oh, orbital strikes down as well, but it's not going to find anyone. Ku over in heaven with just a Spectre, trying to run it a little bit more aggressively. Oh, can he find it as they're trying to really get onto the side here. Quagga backing off, and for the first time over on Bind, it's actually favoring SONOP.
There we go, SONOP's defusing Shadow Hunter. Has he got it? He has got it. There you go. They get their first round. Well done to them, because I thought with the sneaky fake from Team, I was like, this is it, SONOP. You saw them all running to the other side. But, I mean, Cloudburst, how did they do it? They got the round. How did they get that back?
So, from my side, I think just a few key kills that they managed to get, really important picks on the retake, and the fact that they all rotated over to B means that when they went back over to A, it was all 4 players ready to go. They got the pick as well from the person, the player on Team lurking on B, so already 4 versus 4 on a retake, and we saw SONOP managing to play that aggressive, as you've been saying this entire series so far. They need to play it aggressive, and we saw it there. But now Quagga going to be using Dimensional Rift to try to get some information. Can't be targeted.
What you're watching right now, obviously using those abilities, which allows him to see exactly what's happening and then shoot someone in the back, which is exactly what he just did.
Oh, another rotate. He gets one more. Can he get another? Curveball comes up. He's just going to be spraying. Oh, he tries to go back with teleport, but does not quite work out, as now they do have the plant. It is 4 versus 2 defenders for SONOP. Not in the best of situations right now. Shadow Hunter head up with Ku. Going to be using Paranoia here. Ku going to be wrapping around to elbow, but he didn't get the angle right. Trigger finds a kill, and now it's all up to 1. He does have the hot hands. He can heal himself, or he could block off an entrance with the molly.
I think that he's running out of time. You can hear that spike beeping down. He can't play it slow. Hot hands, not going to be enough, I think.
Well, now we just have to see, can he even survive? He can't even survive the bomb going off, and you can see already just completely out of it. Team backing off and cementing themselves further with another round.
Good job from them. They did a great job there. SONOPS now needs to just, again, rethink how you're going to do that. You can see they've all got their shields up. They're doing their buy. They're getting themselves some... they're not getting any good guns, but it would seem the team's getting some nice, pretty guns now as well. I say pretty. By pretty, I mean shoots good.
Gun shoot good.
Gun shoot good. They got the gun shoot goods.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we actually look at it right now, economy is not the worst for either side. It could be better for SONOP, but they have brought up a little bit of a force half buy. And now over on A, we only have a Molly who, once again, he's used... he's only used a single sky smoke just to block off lamps.
You can see SONOPS has split themselves up a little bit now. They've made sure that they got teams on both sides, just in case. Don't know if this is going to work for them, though. I'm a bit concerned that if team comes on all super aggressive, 2 agents is not going to be enough.
Oh, Nightmare finding the opening pick over onto Ed. They get rid of the alarm bot as well. That means that there's going to be no vulnerability applied. Spooky going to be using the lockdown, which it's going to be... They got the plant regardless. They know they have so many players they can use, even if the... It's not going to find anyone, actually. What am I saying? I'm stumbling on my words. These players are not at all threatened by the lockdown.
They've closed down their site really well with their smokes, making it really difficult for SONOP to rotate in.
What a lovely flank from Shadowhunter right now. And they need to find the right angles as Trigger has used the run it back. Almost finds a kill to Spooky, but they do get rid of that ultimate. There are 2... Standing. Oh no, if he taps this, he did not see the swarm grenades. If he taps it, oh, he doesn't even go off because Trigger just peeks it. And just some insult to injury over there with the nades going off as well.
You saw that moment. I mean, I know this feeling. We all know this feeling. You're standing in front of a spike that is about to go off and kill you. And you have a moment where you go, should I defuse this now? Or should I wait for that person to come, that agent to come through that alleyway and kill me? Which kill will I go down with? And he had that small moment of hesitation. This is hectic. They need to find, I mean, I referred to team as the nappy rash. SONOP's got to find that antiseptic cream now. I thought that they had it, but I feel like maybe that they didn't quite figure that one out. They've got to do this now. It's really important for them to just be aggressive and figure out how they can get some rounds off this team.
And now, World Divided coming out from Newt, where you cannot shoot through this, but your abilities do go through. So now, with this, of course, no one on the side of SONOP can do much. However, on the flank, the Spooky's here. Of course, Nightmare's turret does see him. And we might see a massive engagement here. Contact from Amali could be massive, but do they know that he has a judge? Oh, they do not know he has a judge. Now he gets to posture forward. Does not opt to pick up the Vandal either. Whilst we do have Shadowhunter and Newt both trading, but oh, he picks it up and it's a little bit too late. And now it's all up to Ku as the rest of his team has absolutely fallen over on A side, trying to push through heaven. And once again, we see team just looking really dominant on the post plant.
While we wait to see what's going to happen here, I think that the spike is going to go off. Explain to me the giant purple wall everyone saw, the cosmic divide, that comes from Astra, one of the agents. Explain what that is specifically. Because for someone who doesn't know anything about Valorant, all they saw is they just saw all that purple with some sparkly stars. So what exactly does that do, and how do you throw it out there?
So what you're going to see here with Astra, which we'll probably see Newt do pretty soon, is she can actually go into an astral form. And once she does that, she gets access to the entire map where she can place down her stars. From there as well, she gets to use the Cosmic Divide and choose 2 locations. You'll see this lovely purple void that we're in right now. And when you choose 2 locations, the entirety of the map on those 2 locations is walled off. Players can pass through it, but they cannot hear the other side, and they cannot shoot through it. So ability to pass through, players can pass through, but that's the limitation. Of course, Newt very far away from the next Cosmic Divide, but going to be using the stars to try and thwart a bit of the attack here, but right away is caught unaware of the utility that's been placed here. Teleporter as well, Shadowhunter with the Ares. No info to really shoot through this just yet, but everyone is up so close, and Newt finds a kill into Spooky. That means that right now the turret is not going to be operating at all, and we still have Amali waiting at the teleport, knowing that's going to happen here. He does get one, but he whiffs on the second shot. Ku once again left on his own, and this has been happening time and time again when SONOP starts to fall.
SONOP needs to figure out how they can make sure that their final player isn't left as the final player, how they can keep a couple more agents standing. If you were watching Newt during his Astra plays, super confused, I'm sure, after Cloudburst explained it. It is a big brain agent. That's how it goes down. You've got to have a bit of a big brain, and Newt does. He is currently studying computer science and computer engineering. But for those of you who don't have the big brain, don't worry. There's a couple of agents that you can play in Valorant where all you need to do is throw some things and shoot, which is exactly my style.
I mean, absolutely. If we look at the dealers that you get here, especially with Phoenix and Jet, you can go absolutely ham to anything and try and find some picks off that. But I have to point it out once again that just the double smokes that we're having, the amount of control that team is playing with, even on the attack here, they're showing that they know how to utilize it and they're making it work. Shadowhunter are going to be putting a dark cover out to stop them over on A main. Now, oh wow, absolutely decimated from the paranoia, but he just pushes right through with running back, not getting affected by it, by just going right through it instead. And found one pick, doesn't find another, but now Lamps is clear. They have the information. Heineke, cheeky spot to tries to go to green and does not survive the push. Spooky going to just try and spam through the walls, not finding anything just yet. And Mali getting the planters, swapping angles now. There is a smoke blocking off heaven. Bit of fight here. Ku not able to survive Mali's crosshair placement. Ed actually buying up to an operator here. Oh, it's going to be really difficult to find some kills. Turret is down, so that does allow for Spooky to help out as well with the push. Of course.
Nightmare's low. If he can get this, if he knows he's there, watch that angle, give him a shot. Yes, there we go.
Oh, now it's only up to Spooky because of the orbital strike from Amali. Slows it down so much. Oh, running and shooting does manage to
another
work.
one. Is he gonna? I mean, he doesn't have enough time to defuse, but he can get a couple of picks.
Oh,
He's gonna try anyway. Not the smartest idea. Jumped right on in there. I'm not 100% sure why he took that risk.
I'm not sure why. He could have grabbed a Vandal, he could have kept the Ares, he could have run to a teleporter. There were so many ways for him to survive and go up in weaponry, but he opted to rather die and give his opponents more cash. Usually, sometimes you will see players make sure they die in the round because you get a loss bonus for dying as well to an enemy player. But I'm not, that's a bit questionable, but looking at their economy
When
here,
you say questionable, though, I don't think so. I think what that is, and I get it, that was panic. That was pure panic. Team is scary, man, and you know that they're all on the other side of the door, and you just kind of panic, and you run, and then you ran right where you shouldn't, and then you died. So maybe a little bit of a panic from them. SONOP's starting to look a little bit shaky. They're not as strong as what we saw in that first map. They're starting to look to me like they're just not quite sure how to handle everything that team is throwing at them, and team is literally throwing every smoke they have at them.
Okay, Nightmare is stopped in his tracks here from the Swarm Grenade. They have found a pick over onto one of SONOP's players. Curveball comes out, but oh, okay. The trade's there though. Newt finds a kill as well. It is 2 versus 4, but SONOP looking a little bit cleaner. Nightmare knows he's there, but oh, Spooky goes down, and now it's all up to Heineke. Does have Bladestorm out. Still a decent amount of health and armor to play with, but oh my. Nightmare right now is just busy sending the spike over to A, whilst Heineke is left alone over on B, just trying to deal with what team has right now. Quagga gatekeeping him, and actually just backs off with his teleport, not wanting to deal with it at all. Gonna go for the reload, and
look at that health bar, though, at the top of your screen for Jet. Look at the red. Heineke, you are going to have to pull something magic out of the air. So low as well, which is going to be difficult because you don't want to risk, if they so much as shoot your toe, you're going down.
And it looks like we could potentially just see a save. Heineke looking for a potential pick if we have anyone from team lurking, but it seems like if we look at the map here, actually they're just going to be rotating around A. Potentially something cheeky could happen from what we're seeing over from the man himself, Quagga, who has been an absolute expert at moving around, but right away, oh, he goes down. Heineke takes teleport, and Amali just shoots right through the walls. Falls down anyways.
And you know, the thing is that those teleports make a lot of noise. So if there's someone on the other side, they are going to hear you. I thought he was going to go for the save. So let's just explain when we talk about the save. It's not just someone choosing to give up. It's ultimately just saving their abilities and their guns for the next round, because if you don't die, you get to keep all your cool toys.
Absolutely, and economy being such a big factor when it comes to tactical shooters, and Valorant being no different in that matter, especially with the abilities included. You have to do that to edge things out sometimes. And talking about edging things out, it looks like we're going to see a very quick push once again. Oh no, Shadowhunter, the worst situation he could be in, stunned from Newt's Astral Force, and trying to make something happen. Heineken goes up on top, but okay, that's going to stop the plant. Ed with the orbital strike. This could give them the time they need to turn things around. Ku, he's caught with his curveball out of Marley, just aggressively pushing it. Ed wants to find some more, and Marley finds another. And Marley's looking cracked today.
Team is on fire. We have to say, they've got that Phoenix agents, and it's almost those hot hands set everyone alight. They're looking really impressive. This is the last round before the switch, and this means that it's starting to become crunch time for SONOP. They've only got one round on the board. They can't drop any more rounds if they want to stay in this competition. They're gonna have to do some big boy plays.
I mean, absolutely, absolutely. Looking at the ultimates right now as well, and the economy for that, I mean, the team's coming out, two operators, and instantly the Cosmic Divide on B as well.
I mean, I said big boy plays, but I meant from SONOP. Team is doing the big boy plays with the big guns and all the cool toys, and you saw they're dropping that ulti straight away with Cosmic Divide.
Oh no.
They are not messing around. They just want to get to the next round. They've made that pretty clear. But SONOP has shown that they can pull back some magic, and I think they're going to try. And as I say that, Le Quaka taking down Shadowhunter. SONOP is 4 agents in, and they're going to have to try and do something with these 4 players.
Okay, Trigger trying to clear out some angles whilst he's pushing in. They do have 2 operators they're pushing in. They do have 2 operators that is going to make things a little bit more difficult. And as soon as we see all the rotates off of A, we're going to be seeing a teleporter taking to A from the side of team. And Heineken actually has the best position that they could possibly have. They're going to go for the default plant. Just wait for it. Finds the kill. Can he take some more?
Spike down A.
As he does have to be worried about the lockdown. He could hold lamps and still be fine. As right away, Trigger coming out with the run it back. Does have Spike. He wants to defuse it. Heineken can peek.
30
run it back.
seconds left.
Just fades away.
Last player standing.
Oh, it's all up to Heineken. Slowly but surely his team's just been whittled away. The plant's happening, and Quagga finds the final kill for the first half of Vine.
Heineken finds himself in that standalone, forced sort of clutch position every single time. And I do think that maybe now, obviously, changes a little bit. They're moving onto the attack side, but they need to maybe just give him a little bit of additional support. He plays as Jet, that duelist. He's good at clicking heads. He just needs someone with him just to give him that additional backup support, if you like, because he is definitely a great little pew.
Oh, absolutely.
But now he needs someone just, standing behind him to make sure he can keep doing the pews and he's not completely alone.
Definitely, and I mean, looking at that already, he's actually opting to go with the light armor here to stick with the classic. And scoreline-wise, I mean, Newt is having a fantastic game here, 15-4. Everyone on Team Positive, and I do feel like over on the attack, this could be where we see SONOP shine.
Cover going out.
SONOP now has an opportunity on attack. They do aim well, they get their shots. Let's see if they can abuse some of the abilities, which I think, and utilities available to them, which I think Team has done really, really well. That's the thing about this game. It's not just about the shooting. You got to know how to use all those extra special bits and pieces. And if you can use them to your advantage, you can get a really good play.
Definitely, and already a pick over on A side means that B only has 2 players. There's going to be 3 players from SONOP pushing up. Trigger does get a trade. Flash does not affect Spooker, and a lot of damage over onto Nightmare. Surprisingly, no rotate just yet. Okay, we're seeing the rotate now. A dash up from Heineken. Okay, there's the pick. And now, only 2 players left for Team, and a fantastic flank. Trigger could change the tides of battle. What a shot! What a shot! Pushing in, Spike is stuck over an elbow. Has to worry about the turret here, whittling his health down in these saves without armor. That turret can do so much work. Oh,
Enemy
Kizuke
remaining.
stranded.
30 seconds
Finds
left.
the kill regardless. 26 HP. Gets a full HP. Amali takes him down with the classic. And that was far too close for comfort.
So this is the thing about Team, which I think that they do
Match
really well,
point.
and it is something for some of the other competitors in Campus Clutch to watch, is that they are able to adapt very fast and around to the situation they find themselves in. So sometimes you see there, it looks like it's lost for them, and they're able to very quickly come up with a new game plan and adapt. That comes down to team comms. It comes down to having a very strong in-game leader who kind of makes the call and says, right, let's do this, and it's working well for them. We've seen this happen numerous times, and I do think it's why the scoreline is what it is, because they've been able to adapt to whatever SONOP throws at them.
And talking about adaptations, of course, this is not a full buy, and Newt now opting for the judge. He's going to just be holding this angle to try find a pick. Shadowhunter making noise, and between Amali and, oh my word, why am I not watching Quagga as he just absolutely obliterates two players on the side of SONOP. But already, things have equalized once again. Heineke sticking with the Spectre right now. Shadowhunter, of course, his teammate. They want to push towards A, and talking about the judge. Trigger has one as well. Amali finds a pick onto Ed. Oh, there's the damage. Only one player left. Caught with the curveball out, which has been a recurring theme for both sides. And Heineke needs to keep his team's hopes of playing in overtime on Bind. It is possible. It's the biggest ask we could possibly imagine, having to play another 11 rounds here and win all of them in a row. But stranger things have happened on this world. Heineke. Oh no, nightmare. The penetration from the Ares just closes it out in Hookah, and unfortunately SONOP A being sent home from team. Dominant performance.
I really just wanted them to clutch it out there at the end so I could go, how's it, Heineke? But unfortunately it wasn't to be. I threw it in there anyway. But what a performance from Team. They take the first game in the Red Bull Campus Clutch South African Finals 2-0, and they're now going to be facing off against Soft Gang in the semis. We're going to take a quick break though, Cloudburst. Make sure you get yourself some Red Bulls, get refueled, because when we get back, we're moving into game number 2.